Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today we have Yildiz Blackstone on the show. Hi, Yildiz.
Hey, Van. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show. Really excited to talk to you. Yildiz is the co-founder of Yildiz Aylin. It is a fashion-focused business, an incredible kind of disruptive model, and we'll get into that shortly. But before we do that, I think I'd love to just talk to you a little bit about your background. Certainly, you were the president of one of the greatest fashion retailers, which is Luca, and now you've gone on to disrupt the model with your present business. But tell us a little bit about yourself and your career.
Sure. Where shall I start? I was folding sweaters at Benetton when I was 13. If I want to start from the beginning. Well, I grew up in Izmir, Turkey, and I come from a line of women in fashion in my family, from my great-grandmother to my grandmother, my mother. So I grew up in fashion. So
you
it
grew
was
up
natural.
In the industry.
Exactly. So that's what I knew. So I found myself in a fashion career at an early age. I'm not kidding. I was folding sweaters at Benetton after school. So I quickly learned retail business, being on the floor. I came to the US because I wanted to, America. I wanted to come to the US where every good thing happens here, opportunities. So I came to study to New York. FIT was my school. It was a wonderful experience. And after a few jobs slaving myself on 7th Avenue, I met an Italian fashion designer who wanted to start a company. Together we started a brand. I was in my early 20s, and over decades we created a beautiful fashion brand that was called Luca. We had dressed celebrities. We were staple in Fashion Week, and name it, dressed all it girls. So I learned a lot about brand building and retail through that experience. So when the company got sold, it was an interesting moment, because knowing how volatile retail business is, my sister was at the time working with me. Together we decided, how can we create a company where we can guide and mentor designers, creative directors, and bring them together with our customers. And without the retail traditional brick and mortar model. So Yildiz and Aylin it started with that concept. And we, about 7 years ago, we started bringing together designers together with our clients. And it was fun environment. It was event-based, invitation only, and it was word of mouth. That's how it started.
So, I mean, Yildiz, I have seen this, I've experienced it, and certainly I remember experiencing the incredible experience that you had in your Luca stores. I remember going to your Luca store in Miami, I think probably before I even knew you. That was just an incredible space. And I see that you're really doing that almost on the next level now with this company, where it's almost like you have these at home. Tell me more a little bit about how the model actually works.
Okay, so what we wanted to create is women want beauty, elegance, gorgeous clothes, but not necessarily everything has to be an investment piece. What we wanted to have, besides bringing these unique designers in front of our clients, we also wanted to curate collections that bring elegance, chic, style, quality at an affordable price point. So we quickly decided to eliminate the brick and mortar model because there is no way we can be very competitively priced if we were paying the Madison Avenue rents. So it started at my apartment, where I invited a couple of designers. Aylin and I curated the collections exactly how we want to wear. Aylin downtown edge, I'm more uptown girl. So together we created this styled curated show, and our clients loved it because then they could buy let's say very, very high-end pieces at almost wholesale price point.
I love it. And I think about what's happening right now in the retail sector. And, in pretty much any city in the world, you go down any major street and there's a lot of commercial real estate available. And there's but there's still the need. There's a need for fashion. There's a need for goods and services. And we've seen that shift over to e-commerce. But I think that experience that you're able to develop here is really, I think, an interesting one for many businesses to explore. So,
absolutely.
Tell me more.
If I believe that when you create a value, customers, friends, they will follow and they will talk about it. We also like to create a joy, a fun environment where we walk through the racks with our clients. We feel each one of them are our canvas. We say you are our blank canvas, and we're the artists. We put together looks and we bring the inner essence, beauty out. And that's the joy. And imagine how much fun I was having with my sister, with the customers, with friends. And we expanded it to an ambassador model, where we started traveling around the country with the collections and go to homes of different friends who wanted to host us. So we expanded our business in that way. And it was lots of fun. I love
it. I remember reading a piece a long time ago that Warren Buffett, probably whenever you're ready to sell this company, Yildiz, Warren Buffett might be a good buyer. He loves businesses like this. So, but in the context of what we've all lived through over the last year, 18 months now with COVID, I imagine that kind of added new challenges, new things to consider. And I know that you launched, I think, kind of like these Zoom experiences. Tell me more how that works.
So when pandemic hit, you can imagine our business, whereas high touch, in person, trying on in the dressing rooms with clothes, all of a sudden it was complete pause. I have to say, I didn't panic because I lived through 2008 when there was, it wasn't physical pause, but it was definitely economic pause. Having gone through that, I felt like, okay, we just have to figure out how to survive the moment. And it was, I was so grateful that I didn't have the huge cost of retail stores. And I didn't have any other platform other than my ambassadors and us hosting it. So we had to find a new platform, which was online. And I've been resisting. As you know, I don't find myself technically glorified. So I have been resisting online entry. And we just said it's time. It's right now is the time. So we started our online actually a few days before New York shut down. I already picked the platform, and also we picked the concept. And within 4 weeks, we were online shop. And we learned as we were doing it. There were no models. My sister and I had to be the models. Don't get me started. It's really stressful. Now I appreciate models, real models, so much more. And so we were also thinking who would shop, because no one is going out. No one has a reason. But surprisingly, we are a beautiful community. We want to support each other. I knew our customers did not need the clothes that they purchased from us, but they wanted to support. And to see that beauty, the support among each other was priceless. And it kept us excited and get going. So we were like, okay, we cannot have in-person appointments. How about we do Zoom appointments? And we started taking our friends on journeys of travel online. Wow. With the rags. Now you come to Mexico with us. It was like, it became a show business from fashion business. And we
I think that is brilliant. This idea of essentially like almost taking a bit of like a trunk show type model, but turning it into a Zoom experience. What a great concept, and certainly something that I think has legs to scale going forward.
Absolutely, because it fast forwarded what we wanted to do. It also shows us that our fear for something new holds us so tight that it takes us baby steps on such a longer journey than jumpstart. So I definitely learned that about myself. I will be in the next life much more fearless. And also what we learned, let's say, creating these Zoom meetings, online appointments, we learned that there is also a way of connectivity, because I was feeling if I don't touch you, if I don't see you in person, I'm not connecting with you. Right. But I was wrong. So now virtual appointments are here to stay. And we are now not only seeing our friends online from New York, but also we are doing Zoom meetings internationally with our friends in California, in Chicago. It's great because now we are actually expanding the business out of East Coast.
Yeah, I love it. And I think the thing here is really looking at that transformative nature of how you approach the pandemic. You know, here you had a very focused experiential business, and you were able to bridge that into an online experience that is essentially kind of like borderless, timeless, can go anywhere, which is really, really exciting. But let's talk about the pandemic for a second. I mean, it's been a challenge for everybody, and I know that you. I feel like I owe you this question, Yildiz, as a friend. I know that whenever I've spoken to you during the pandemic, you've always said, "All right, so tell me what brought you joy today." And how have you found joy over this time, and how have you kind of, I guess, stayed sane through the whole period?
That's a great question. I have to say, it's easy to ask this question to others, but during pandemic, I realized if I didn't bring myself this question daily, I was not going to get through, because everything I know stopped. My business stopped. I was separated from my Turkish family. So nothing is in my control. Everything is out of control. Yeah. So I have to find a way to survive. And one way to survive for me was, what's the joy of the day? What did I enjoy today? And pandemic definitely taught me to enjoy the journey. So every day, one baby step, or this collection we uploaded online. It got reaction, fantastic. So enjoying every moment rather than what's the projection of this year? Where are we at between last year, this year? It's such a long enjoyment, and it's so 1 minute. Like right. In the end of the year, then you are either sad or you're happy, and then you're already on the races for the next phase. But with pandemic, it's really, since we couldn't control anything around us. Yeah. Okay, how about right now? It's in
and I mean, I think you described it perfectly just now. There's a simplicity in that question, but I appreciated being asked the question because it forced me to stop and think. And that process of thinking allowed that ability to remain sane and move forward. So I'm glad that you've done that, and certainly finding that joy in family and friends has been key through this whole process. But let's change gears a little bit here. I mean, you are someone that has been on the forefront of the fashion industry throughout your whole career. And now we're entering, I would say, almost like a new phase, a phase where in some ways, maybe that industry was forced to accelerate its digital growth and accelerate digital models. But at the same time, obviously, is a huge industry, and it will go back to being experience-based. How do you see things evolving in the near future for Yildiz Aylin, but also for the fashion industry in general?
I believe fashion definitely is here to stay, because it's really, it's not about need, it's about want. It's very feelings related business. And I believe online portion is here to stay. But I definitely believe seeing, touching clothes and having a physical experience will never be replaced by online. Clienteling will be very, very important, because as we have seen in this past 1 year, when you have the relationship, you definitely can survive, and you can actually grow. I believe it's online is going to be stronger, but it's not going to take over physical experience.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel that people are going to rush back in some ways to real world experiences. I think we've seen probably unfortunate examples of that with spring breakers in Miami and things like that, but experience still matters. Yildiz, it's been amazing to talk to you about everything with the progress with Yildiz Aylin as a business. If people wanted to find your business, where should they go?
Oh, thank you. I would like to invite to our invitation only experience all your fans. One way to join us is www.yildizaylin.com, which is YILDIZAYLIN.com. We also have our showroom in New York on the Upper East Side, and our information is online. We also have Hampton's private appointment experiences. We would like to definitely have styling appointment with anyone who wants to join, and it's free.
That's great. So yildizaylin.com, and that can be the beginning of the experiences with your business. Well, I mean, Yildiz, thank you so much for coming on Uncaged today. Uncaged is a show that gives a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. And certainly in the conversation we've talked about, I would say almost kind of like the reinvention of fashion retail, what it was, how to succeed in that world, and then how that's evolved into the new world, which is probably going to be much more virtual, much more digital, much more experiential, but in a very, very new way. And I think you guys are on to an exciting new business model. So thank you so much, Yildiz, and look forward to having you back on the show in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers.